Good morning and welcome to Sveti Tomaz, which is in Slovenia. Forgive me, I was trying to get it in the background for you there. I am one of a significant number of people who are here this morning to shoot hopefully some lovely mist and a bit of a sunrise.
Now this is one of the classic views of Slovenia, one that many photographers wish to capture. I gave myself 3 mornings at this location and oh boy, didn't it pay off.
I'm purposely getting a long line of photographers in the photo because I just want you to see that this is not a unique shot. It is, however, a very glorious shot.
In 2022, I came to this location just for 1 morning and oh boy, did we have fantastic conditions. My quest though was to try and get something a little bit different in this very well shot location.
So ideally what we would like is the mist swirling around that church, and at the optimum moment, poof, the light pops through, highlights it, and it all gets a bit beautiful.
The night before we had storms and the humidity level was very high. Hence the world and his wife turning up to photograph.
So it's currently October, and one of the things that October is quite well known for are mists in the valley. Now that, coming along there, if that goes along here, that'll be quite exciting. If you come to this area, don't stand in the middle of someone's private field. Just don't.
Everyone's lined up along the edge of this road for a very particular reason. This is private land and the locals don't particularly appreciate us stamping on it. Now although we had some mist that was going in and out of the valleys, I have to confess, it wasn't really giving me anything much more spectacular than I got last year. But because I was staying in this house here, I could return the next day as well.
Now the beauty of this location is that you have mist that just swirl. 1 minute you can have absolutely nothing in front of your screen, and the next, well, you can barely see anything. And that's why this place is quite exciting. It's a little bit like a drug. Now I'm staying in an apartment right next to the church, which actually is a real find. That means it's only about 10 to 15 minutes maximum for me to get here. Good morning. It's day 2. I've got about 5 tourists that way, and I've got a guy from England taking his photo tour bus around. I'm currently on F9 at about 2 seconds ISO 200. This is sublime. Sublime. That's the scene we've got in front of us at the moment. And it goes right the way across the valley. So now it's just a matter of waiting for the mist to get into the place that I want. And just enjoying my coffee and the view. Decided I rather like mountains, provided I don't have to walk up them. Wise advice. Sun's coming out, goodbye. We have the sun gently hitting that church now. It's also creating a peculiar effect behind that on the clouds. I've got to be really careful I don't blow that cloud. Well, that has actually been quite an epic morning. Problem is, you never know what you're going to get. 1 minute you think, oh, I'm going to pack up now, and then all of a sudden, boom, the light kicks off and the cloud goes okay. Doing a reverse shot now. That plateau up there is where I was shooting from, and to get to it, I have to effectively drive right around the valley where the mist is coming in now. But if I keep going round, I'm going to go up and to the right here, this is Sveti Tomaz. Now, the land on which this church is built is owned by the person I'm staying with. But this is why I think a morning here might be quite stunning. Let me turn you around. Okay, I've got interesting trees. I've got sweeping foreground there. But I've also got some interesting cloud inversions and mountains. And I've seen one shot, it's a drone shot, from down the bottom of this hill. So I'm going to go and have a little explore now. And it just had the sweeping undulations, as well as a nice bit of cracking mist. And it was looking up towards that church. So I think it's worth a go. God, this is sublime. Yeah, from down there, when the sun is much lower in the sky, I reckon I can get some silhouettes. Sorry it's blown out.
Since there was no one else around, we decided to put the drone up and give it its first proper flight. My goodness, the colours were astounding. And it was so nice to see the place from a different angle. And I present to you my first ever drone shot.
Well, it's my third and final morning here, and as you can see, I am down around the church itself. We have a very little mist coming up and around. There's quite a lot in the valleys, but nothing where we are. Now, we've been given permission to be here by the landowners, and we've stayed with them for the past 3 days. This is not a general place where public are encouraged to come because there's just no parking. I confess to being a little bit disappointed that there isn't more mist kind of floating around. I was envisaging us being able to take our drone up and kind of pound through the mist and get to the church, but it wasn't to be. What I have instead is a bit of a postcardy set of images. I'm focusing on the trees and the lovely church, and that's it. We could not have got 3 more different mornings. The first one where we barely had any light to write home about. Yesterday when we had just swirly mists and light just interchanging. And today, well, weirdly, the mist is starting to come thicker in the valleys now, but how lovely, how different. Thank you for joining me today in a place that has made me very happy. Hopefully I've got a couple of bangers and I can't wait to get home and look at them on the computer. Meanwhile, wherever I am next time, I hope to see you there. Take care.